And welcome everybody to Arts Talk Online. It's Wednesday, December 21st. I am Bill Roberts. Normally sitting with me is my co-host Jennifer Boudreau, but being so close to Christmas, she's on Christmas vacation, so she'll be back with us in the new year, which I wanted to mention. This is our last show before Christmas, and then we'll be taking a break. We'll come back on January 11th with more Arts Talk Online. We want to also again thank the last 2 weeks we were at West Edmonton Mall in the Santa Maria, so again thank you to Sherry Clegg and West Edmonton Mall and Media Relations for allowing us to be there and shooting 2 shows. 2 weeks in a row they allowed us to be on the Santa Maria, so that was great. As I said, it's December 21st, 3 days until Christmas Eve, 1 day until Christmas. Hopefully your shopping is done. Men, December 24th is coming right up. That's your big shopping day. I know for me it usually is. So you run around the mall at full speed and knock everybody out of the way and get what you need to get. So anyway, again, you're watching Arts Talk Online. Make sure, if you want to get an event on the show, please email us at info@artstalkonline.com so we can get you on the show and your event on the show. So again, if you want to be a guest or want to have an event, make sure you get an email to us as soon as possible. Also, watch the show on www.artstalkonline.com. This is been a great run for us so far. We're getting great viewership, but we want to continue it to grow. We want to promote arts in Alberta and throughout Alberta, and again, that's every genre. So it doesn't matter whether you're a writer, an actor, a musician. We want you to get you on the show. We in the new year we have a sculptor coming. We just had a glass blower last week, so it's been great. So we've got a real good mix of arts throughout that have been coming on the show. So again, Jennifer will be back with us in the new year, so I get to host the show all by myself here on this Wednesday evening. We've got some great guests coming up. We have Katrina Campos, who's a person in Edmonton here who's done a lot of audio work. She has her own recording company. She is her own music school, so she's got a lot that she wants to talk to us about. And we have a gentleman by the name of Sean Mackey who runs a very interesting business. He rents out art, so if you're an organization, a bar, whatever the case might be that wants some art on your walls, this is the gentleman that we're going to want to talk to find out how we go about doing it. So it's a great way, even as you get into the new year and maybe you don't want to purchase art, but maybe you want to rent art or do a rent to own on some art. This is a great way to get art even into your house or your location. So Sean will be a great guest for us, and we look forward to having him on the show. We'll continue again to, of course, have our segments with Mary Lou Drachenberg and Lee Conrad. I believe Lee today is going to actually not do so much of a review, but give us an idea on maybe 3 different Christmas movies you could watch with the family over Christmas. So I know Mary Lou is standing, or I should say sitting or standing, as she's got a review coming up for us, or wants to talk about hierarchy on set. So she's been talking about auditions and what the best thing is to do for that and how to handle your audition. She's been talking about agents, but today she's going to talk again a little bit more on what to do when you're on the set and who kind of has what job on the set and who to talk to and that kind of thing. So I'm actually going to throw it over to Mary Lou right now. Mary Lou.
Hi, Mary Lou Drachenberg here again to talk to you about life on the set. There is a hierarchy on the set, and we need to respect and understand that there's a hierarchy in any workplace. In a situation of a set, the director is essentially responsible for everything that goes on the set, and he's the king dude, if you will. Then we have the production department. We have producers, executive producers, line producers, consultant producers. For the most part, the way to describe the production department is all the producers those are the people who kind of make all the arrangements and the financing for most of the production itself. Then we get into the crew people, the meat and the potatoes of what really happens on set. We have your lighting department, your camera department, locations department, hair and makeup, etc., etc. In lighting department, you'll hear the term of electrics, those are the lighting people, electrics or gaffers. In the camera department, you'll hear the term dollies or dolly grips, and dolly grips and grips are those people who help with the camera department to move cameras around and use them across the dollies and monitor all that kind of equipment. In the camera department itself, you'll also have of course, the director of photography, and they have a very close relationship with the director, making sure that they're getting the picture that they really want. And you'll have like a first and sometimes even a second assistant photographer, camera assistant on set. Now in locations and makeup, there's keys, there's There's keys of each department. There's all kinds of different people, and each one of them know their job. So it's really important, whether you're a new actor in the industry or a new extra who's taking an opportunity as a role on set, to not interfere with these people. I personally have actually seen actors or extras who have actually been removed and asked not to return on set because they were not being respectful and cooperative with other people who are in the workplace, as in pouting because they didn't get camera time. And a real big no-no, don't ever ask the star who is on set for their autograph or their picture with them. The bottom line, as I said before, it is a workplace. It's a workplace for you, it's a workplace for all the crew, and it is a workplace for that star. And I've seen people removed, and I don't want that to happen to you. So, be respectful, cooperative, and pleasant, and don't interfere with the crew.
Thank you, Mary Lou. Again, Mary Lou's had wonderful advice for us throughout the show. She'll be back again with us in the new year. So coming up right away, as I mentioned at the top of the show, we've got Katrina Campos. And Katrina, as mentioned, runs a music school. She's got her own recording and music production company, and she has a few other things coming up. So she will be on set with us right after this. And welcome back to Arts Talk Online. I am Bill Roberts. As I mentioned earlier, Jennifer is on vacation, so she'll be back with us in the new year. I'd like to welcome to the set Katrina Campos. How are you, Katrina?
I'm good. How are you, Bill?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for coming to the show.
Oh, absolutely. It's my pleasure.
So, let's find out a little bit about Katrina. I understand, first of all, that you were born to parents that are accountants, and I thought that was rather interesting in your bio.
Yes.
So they were accountants, and you've kind of gone into a whole new realm, and that's music.
Music, yes. I just thought I'd add it in. The irony was hilarious. Accountant parents producing a musical baby. It was awesome.
Now, are your parents musical at all?
No. so I don't think it's genetic at all. No.
Well, that's awesome that you've got all this talent. So it says on your bio that before the age of 6 you were introduced to the world of piano and percussion. So
that's correct.
What, at like 5 you were playing piano?
Like
or?
4, I had my first piano lesson, and then after that, around 6, I had my first snare drum, and it just went up from there.
That's great. So again, you were one of these kids who enjoyed piano lessons then,
Absolutely.
not one that felt like they were forced into having to play piano.
No, I was begging for it.
That's great. And so then from there you went on, you got a degree, a music degree, and you're also a graduate of the Ontario Institute of Audio Recording Technology.
That's correct.
And you decided from that point that you wanted to establish your own music school.
Yeah.
So what's happening with that?
Well, the music school, Crazy Music School, was established January 2010.
Okay.
And we're doing really well. We offer piano lessons, percussion lessons, and drum lessons. We also offer personalized teaching and group lessons. So at first I was a little scared because, like how it will be in terms of teaching, like different like groups and stuff like that. But it's great. I love it, and hopefully it'll just grow more, and we can share music to everyone a little bit more.
That'd be great. So is it just you teaching, or do you have other instructors with you? Or?
Right now I'm the main teacher, and I'm trying to collaborate with other instructors as well, because we're starting to incorporate guitar lessons as well.
Great.
So
whereabouts is the school located?
on the West End.
So how do you get in contact with your music school if they want to take lessons?
They just have to call me 780-964-3534, and I'd like to kind of get people talk to me personally on what they want. And
Right. So you're taking, I would assume, beginner level up to advanced?
Up to advanced, absolutely.
Great.
Yes.
And I also, besides the music school,
Yes.
you're a freelance recording engineer, and you also have your own music production company, which is Crazy Music Productions. Is
That's
that correct?
Yeah, so the company pretty much has 2 parts, the music education side
Right.
and the music production side. Now with that one, I pretty much do like freelance engineering. I produce, I program, and I compose
Wow.
for films as well. So
That's great. So on this, I guess getting away from the music side, on the sound side of things, how did you get interested in wanting to be out there and being, I know you've done some work on a feature film and
That's right.
working as a boom operator and that kind of thing.
That's correct.
So it's just an interest, you love being out there and working with sound and getting the best sound capture you can.
Yeah. There's just something about like music and sound that I find really interesting. I don't know, I guess capturing something and changing it to something different and sharing it back. I don't know, that's mostly what I'm passionate about, so.
And I understand you have an EP coming out.
I do.
So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it's an ambient electronica genre. And it's coming out at the end of January, so we're hoping for a digital release on bandcamp.com, so hopefully, fingers crossed, everything works out, and if it goes super well, then we may have hard copies already as well. So
Nice.
yeah.
Excellent. And you're doing a little bit of DJing too, I understand.
That's correct, yes. My partner Camille and I just recently got a DJ gig at Flash, and we had our first gig actually, and it went really well, so
That's
he's
awesome.
excited, yeah.
Well, thank you, Katrina.
Thank you.
We've loved having you on Arts Talk Online, so do make sure you get in touch with her and get out to her music school if you're interested in getting some lessons. She would be the person you want to go talk to. Thanks so much, Katrina.
Thank you
We'll be
so
right
much.
back after this. Welcome back to Arts Talk Online. I am Bill Roberts. Thanks again to Katrina. She has a wonderful music school. She's a great recording engineer. We had the opportunity to work with her on a feature film that we worked on in 2010, which hopefully will be coming out soon, so watch for that. We'll probably talk a bit about that on Arts Talk Online in the new year and maybe bring the director of that film on also. Well, there's a bunch of events coming up. As I said, it is December 21st, so I wanted to look forward to what's happening for New Year's Eve on December 31st, for those of you that want to get out and do something and maybe get out to a party or two. The Edmonton International New Year's Eve Gala is happening at the Fantasyland Hotel, December 31st, of course, runs from 7 a.m. till 3 a.m. It's $135 a person, and they've brought in comedian Mike Bullard, who will be coming in to do a set that evening prior to the start of the dance, and donations will be for the Stollery Children's Hospital Foundation. So that is one event that might be of interest to you. Disney's Beauty and the Beast will be at the Jubilee Auditorium. That gets underway January 3rd and runs all the way to January 8th, I believe. So it's a 5-day run. So that's at the Jubilee Auditorium. Check that out. Out in Strathcona County, they have the New Year's Eve Festival, which takes place on December 31st from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m., ending off with some fireworks. That's always a fun evening. And I'll see if I can get one more event in here quickly before we run out of time. Out in Stony Plain, they have the 13th Annual Family Fest, which will take place at Heritage Park. Live entertainment from 6 to 8:30, face painting 6 to 8:30, a magician 6 to 9, a whole lot of things happening. Oh, and fireworks at 8:45. So that's the Family Fest out in New Year's Eve in Stony Plain. Lee Conrad. Lee is actually doing this, it's not even really a review as I mentioned this time. He decided to do this from his house, being that it was Christmas time. He's going to talk about 3 movies that he pulls off of his DVD shelf that he thinks the family should watch for Christmas. Let's send it over to Lee.
Happy holidays, everybody. It's Lee Conrad here to give you my picks for Christmas movies. Well, we haven't got a heck of a lot to choose from for this year's entries, but I thought it'd be fun to take a look at 3 of my favorites from years past. And the first one I want to take a look at is Scrooged. Now, this film, obviously, just by the title alone, you know it's going to be about basically a modern-day take on the Charles Dickens tale. This film came out in 1988, directed by Richard Donner, who's notoriously known for the Lethal Weapon and Superman film series, and stars Bill Murray in one of his funniest roles. Karen Allen also takes a turn in here as his love interest, and most of you will recognize her from Raiders of the Lost Ark, so there's a nice fun turn there. So if you're a fan of Bill Murray's work, and Richard Donner, of course, this 80s take on the Charles Dickens tale is a hoot to watch, with special effects, of the era just being that much more fun. And the rest of the cast, John Forsythe, Bobcat Goldthwait, Carol Kane, Robert Mitchum, Michael J. Pollard, and Alfred Woodard. Score is also done by Danny Elfman, so if any of you guys are a fan of his music, check out this movie. It's a lot of fun. Next on the list, we have Gremlins. Now, I'm sure you're probably wondering why I would pick a movie about little green monsters running amok, but you have to remember, this film is actually set at Christmas. It is a Christmas movie, honest to God. I kid you not. Directed by Joe Dante, who's given us other great gems like The Howling, as well as Looney Tunes Back in Action, if you're looking for something a little bit more for the kids. But this is the movie that I think landed him on the map, and it's a classic to be sure. You also got the noteworthy bits of Frank Welker, who is a notorious voice artist, doing many iconic characters from classic 80s cartoons, such as in Transformers and G.I. Joe, and too many others, numerous to mention. Also the voice of Curious George, oddly enough. This film, starring Zach Galligan and Phoebe Cates, as well as Judge Reinhold also makes an appearance in there. The film, hilarious from start to finish, and just a hoot to watch little green monsters running around and wreaking havoc, if you're looking for something different from the traditional mode of Christmas movies. And last but not least, just to show that I'm not completely heartless, we have Love Actually. Now, if I recall correctly, this movie does take place around Christmas time and centers around a bunch of different romantic stories happening throughout. Basically billed as the ultimate romantic comedy. I would definitely say that is what it is. From the people who gave us Four Weddings and a Funeral, which is one of my favorites as well. Check this movie out. Great cast: Hugh Grant, Liam Neeson, Colin Firth, Laura Linney, Emma Thompson, Alan Rickman, Keira Knightley, Rowan Atkinson. You can't go wrong here. Strong actors throughout. The movie itself is just, if you're looking for all-out romantic fun, this is a good one to check out. It's a really feel-good movie. That's all I got for this edition of Arts Talk Online for myself. Have yourselves a Merry Christmas, and we'll see you guys in the new year.
Thanks, Lee. Again, you're watching Arts Talk Online. I am Bill Roberts. You know, I never thought about The Gremlins being a Christmas movie, but as Lee said, it takes place around the Christmas time, and it is a fun family movie to watch. So if that's one of the movies you want to pick up and watch at Christmas, you should go out and grab the DVD if you don't have it already. Coming up next is Sean Mackey. As I mentioned, he runs... He's got a website called artsconnect.ca and also About Us Everywhere, and it's Art Connect. He links local artists to collectors throughout a network of restaurants, bars, shops, and saloons. So Sean is going to be on set with us right after this. Welcome back to Arts Talk Online. With me, Sean Mackey. How are you, Sean?
Good, how are you?
Good. Thank you for coming and being part of our own Arts Talk Online show.
Thanks for having me.
Wanted to find out a little bit about this great business you're running called Art Connect.
Yeah.
So I understand that it's basically a link for local artists to be able to get out to collectors and rent art and that kind of thing. Tell me a little bit about it.
Well, basically, there's a lot of really good art galleries in Edmonton, but not everyone in Edmonton always gets out to go see those really good galleries. I mean, for some people, they can be a little intimidating, I think, at times. So the idea behind Art Connect is art everywhere. So we're basically taking that quality of art and putting it up in restaurants, bars, salons, spas, shops, things like that around Edmonton.
That's awesome. So what about, say somebody has a great wall in their home, a picture wall, and they're looking for art, and possibly maybe they're not sure what they're looking for, that kind of thing. They can come to you. Could they also rent art and put it in their home?
Yeah, definitely. If they would like to take a look at our website, they can see our entire inventory. And if there's a painting that they like a little bit and they want to see it in real life, because sometimes seeing it in the flesh kind of makes a difference, each painting beside it says where it's hosted in the city, so they can go check it out for real.
That's great. So, and what's your website again?
It's www.artconnect.ca.
That's great. So, and on the flip side, if you're an artist and they're looking for a way to get their work out there, get it shown, get it out to the public, can they contact you? And
Yeah, definitely. We're like constantly looking for new artists and new businesses to partner with. One of the reasons I started it actually was because I have so many artist friends who have nowhere to show their art. So I kind of want to get the network out there and by keep expanding with more artists and stuff.
And so, how long has Art Connect been going?
Just since the summer.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's pretty new.
And how's it going for you? Has it been
good? We're already in 4 locations, soon to be 5. The kind of most prominent one is Second Cup in Terwilliger.
Nice.
Actually sold a painting there today.
Great.
Yeah. So.
Great. So, and there you just mentioned the solo painting. So when the artist is displaying their work, so if the business is renting, for an example, and somebody walks into Second Cup and says, "Hey, I love that painting. I want to buy it." So do they contact you, or how do they go about doing it?
Yeah, there's a little card beside the painting, and it has the web address of that actual artwork, and they can see all the information about it. And there's 2 options for buying it. They can either buy it outright, or we also have a $29 a month payment plan.
Wow.
So, I mean, for some people, like $500 to $1,000 for a painting can be a little hard to swallow. So we actually break it down. They can pay $29 a month until the full retail price is paid for, and there's no interest or anything like that on that.
That's an awesome idea.
Yeah.
You know, and as mentioned also, if you can even bring art into your home, you know, and you have that picture wall and you find a piece that you really love, or maybe it just doesn't fit there, but you want to maybe bring something else in, it's a great way to do it.
I mean, it's $1 a day, really. So
that's great. And what happens if that happens, for an example? If somebody says they put a picture on that wall in the house and they have it up there for a month and they decide, you know, I'm not really sure this is the fit. I think I'd like to try something else.
Yeah,
so
we give them a credit for that month, and then they can swap out the painting with any.
and bring in something
in
new.
their inventory. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
And so you're an artist yourself?
Yes, I am.
So visual artist, I assume?
Yeah, I'm an oil painter.
That's
my thing.
Are you displaying, and do you have your work in here too?
I'm like prominently displayed on Art Connect. I mean, I started a little bit for personal reasons too, right, and get my art up there. But yeah, so you can check out my own art as well.
That's great. So you've got a Bachelor of Fine Arts. Do you do any teaching at all?
I'm actually an art teacher in a junior high. So.
Oh, great.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
So the kids will want to watch this.
Yeah, I'm going to show it
Make
to
sure
them
that they're on,
that
they view Arts Talk online and they can see you. The other quick thing that I was looking at here on your bio, web cards. Explain that to me.
Web cards are just the cards that are beside the art.
Okay, so that is what we talked about earlier.
Yeah, so it's got the direct link right to the website. You can see it, so you don't have to Google search or anything. You can just go straight there.
So are you ever looking to limit the amount of artists, or as you mentioned, you're still looking for artists?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have a certain quality of art that I'd like to maintain.
Right.
But I'm always looking for new artists. I mean, I'd like to be in 100 businesses in Edmonton, if possible, and I would need quite a few artists to do that.
And so when an artist decides that, yes, they're interested, they submit 2 or 3 pieces of work for you to look at?
Yeah, I get them to send me about 5 images in an email, and I take a look, and then we can meet and discuss them. So.
That's great. So what the plans for 2012 for Art Connect?
Well, I'm going to continue expanding,
continue
talking to new businesses, new artists, and continue growth.
Yeah, and as I see it, I think it's a great thing that you're doing, and I'm sure, has the reception been great for businesses? You're seeing a lot of people saying, yeah, we want to do this?
Yeah, definitely. They're really receptive. Of basically all the businesses I've talked to, they've all said yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's real art, right? Not like IKEA kind of
course.
It's original local art, so people like to see that.
And if somebody wanted to, we're December 21st, now I realize we're really close to Christmas here, but if somebody wanted to purchase something, can they purchase direct from you?
Oh, definitely, yeah. All the information's on the website of how to do that. You can actually, we have a shopping cart system, they can just add it to their shopping cart and start their $29 a month payments, and I'll deliver the art the next day.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, Sean, thank you so much for coming to Arts Talk Online. I think it's a great business that you're running, great opportunity for our local artists and artists around the area, and for businesses. If you're looking for art, get a hold of Sean through artconnect.ca. If you're an artist, you want to submit your work, again, make sure that you get it over to Sean. Thank you so much, Sean, for being on the show. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to Arts Talk Online. Again, I am Bill Roberts. Thank you so much to Sean Mackey. Make sure you go to his website at artconnect.ca. And I think it's a great opportunity to have a look at different art and see what artists out there are capable of doing. We have so many wonderful artists that don't always get the opportunity to promote their work or to get their work out there visually where people can see it. So make sure you get a hold of Sean at artconnect.ca. So as I mentioned at the top of the show, we're going to take a break from Arts Talk Online over Christmas, so we can have a bit of a break. The crew can have a bit of a break. And we're going to be back on January 11th, Wednesday night. Jennifer will be back with me. She'll be back from her Christmas vacation. I'm sure we'll hear all about it and her time in Hawaii, which I wish we could have been shooting Arts Talk there, but obviously on our limited budget, we can't take the crew and or ourselves down to Hawaii to shoot Arts Talk, so maybe that'll come at some point. In 2012, we do plan on shooting not just in the studio, but we want to be out on location, so we'll be shooting all over the place, different locations and different places. We're in talks with different people right now. If you are an organization that might be interested in having Arts Talk Online come and shoot a show at your location, please, again, email us at info@artstalkonline.com and we'll get a hold of you, and we'd love to come out to your organization and maybe shoot a show there. So again, everybody have a wonderful, very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We will be back with Arts Talk Online January 11th, 2012. Merry Christmas, everybody.